them. They go down 29 points. You go down 29 points as TYLOO if you lose one of these BO1s against the QUBE, which is absolutely insane considering they would only get +2. So you think about the context of, okay, we're going to lose one map, go down basically 30 points. We would then have to play 15 games and win 15 games against the QUBE to overcome that deficit. So it's less about getting your points. It's more about actually protecting your points in a matchup like this.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like grinding MMR leaderboards at like a very high level when you play someone that's so much lower elo than you, right? And I'm sure there's some overlap between how that system's designed and what we've got in the current VRS rankings. So does seem like BKZ, I'm assuming, going to be looking for a duel towards ramp, and I'm sure Attacker will be happy to oblige. G's got him a flash ready to set him up, but I don't think they're going to get time to set that up.
No, it doesn't look like it. However, nice couple of headshots in there from G. Always pretty useful on the pistols. Does end up forcing this one through to a 3-on-3. Mosea, our player to watch. He's picked up a nice start to the pistol round as well, as Clade is going to go down. It is just a couple of remaining members for the QUBE here, both situated in CT spawn. There is no kit here for TYLOO, but that doesn't seem to be a problem at all. Jam Young for one, and Silmo coming in to try and clutch this one out for the QUBE. Won't have much success. That is a pretty dominant looking pistol, I have to say, from TYLOO.
Absolutely. Mostly getting on the defuse. Looked pretty easy, although, you know, it was a pretty nice 2-for-2 from QUBE. They folded Attacker pretty fast. They traded out G quite nicely, and they got themselves into a 3-on-3, but things just kind of fell apart in the mid-round, as they often do when you're versing players as sharp as TYLOO brings to the server. So QUBE, with that bomb plant, definitely be seeing them force up. Going to be committing to a couple of Galils and armor. A little bit more limited in the util, although going down to some pistols will shore that up. So we'll see what the approach is going to be here. Try and break this CT economy early. Looks like they're just kind of running a 1-3-1 default. So they're going to have to be pretty smart about how and where they use their utility and when. Because they have not got much of it.
Well, a nice taps to start things off for G. Got a headshot in there onto BKZ. It'll be finished off by Jam Young in the end, but G also falling, and now Mercury in connector, just getting, I guess, caught on a bit of a timing there. Wasn't really expecting Solos so close. There's a headshot through from Jam Young, but I think it was through the wall, so Solos will survive and win that aim duel. And this round starting to fall apart a little bit. It's a weird one. HP low on a lot of players, so should still be winnable for these remaining two TYLOO members, but they are going to need to get their timings right, and Attacker here is in a very precarious position with Uncrown having a bit of a look around the corner. We'll catch him. I can't believe it, but I think TYLOO's going to lose this round.
Yeah, that's going to make this game a lot more winnable for QUBE. It's these second round T wins that result in resets on the CT economy that can really get you into a game like this. Mosey, no chance to go for this one. No kit. Gonna have to respect the Molotov and just try to hold on to the M4, because like it or not, TYLOO will most likely be forcing into this next round regardless. And we'll see. Let's see if they can cause the same upset that QUBE has just inflicted on them. Like you said, it was a bit of a weird round, but that's exactly what you want as a T team on a force buy or on a low buy. You just want the round to get weird and chaotic, and you want to take advantage of those opportunities.
And that they did. Mosea, rock of the team. Mr. Consistent. The only player to not die in this game so far for TYLOO. But see how consistent he can be with this M4. The saved M4 will be the pivotal weapon in this round. Jam Young's gone for a Nova. There's a scout out for G. So there are some tools here. A bit of util as well. But the stopping power is certainly not there for TYLOO at the moment.
See what they're able to get done. I mean, obviously, your eyes go to the hero rifle of Mosey and the scout. These scout tags can really help you clean up some kills on the pistols. TYLOO pretty heavily situated around middle, and QUBE just wanting to go straight for a short B split. His presence in ladder. Jam Young's kind of on his lonesome with nothing but a deagle, so it'll have to be something phenomenal from him. But Mosey over the top of the con smoke makes things a little easier for the CTs here.
Jamyang just going to tuck himself by bench. This is essentially a retake setup from TYLOO. Jamyang, if he could get one, that would be ideal. He won't. Wasn't prepared for Uncrowned, but at least causing enough of a distraction for Mercury there on short to pick one up and keep the numbers favorable for TYLOO. So AK retrieved, already put to work. Mosea, that saved M4, also doing a little bit of work, but will fall as he tries to entry his way back into B, and now the numbers may start to dwindle a little bit. That's a good headshot from Uncrowned. Mercury trying to do a bit of work there, but it's actually Attacker to finish things off. It is Uncrowned to drop, and TYLOO will secure their own force buy and maintain the lead. They go up 2-1.
Just into this force buy fiesta, aren't we? Bomb plant goes through for QUBE, so they're going to reinvest. You've got 3 players on 4K. BKZ on 3.4 as well. So definitely going to see 3 or 4 rifles and a tech or a MAC-10 coming out. And QUBE will once again look to break that CT money before it can really get built up too much. They're in a decent position there. I didn't mind the approach on the short B split, even though they lost the pick to Mosey over the top of the con smoke. I'm surprised that TYLOO was actually able to complete that B retake. It's one of the more difficult retakes in the game to be making work, especially when you got a weaponry disadvantage.
Molly should be digging out BKZ here, if not at least forcing some util out. The nade will give him a nice little chunk. It's a good setup for TYLOO, but Mosea under a little bit of pressure here. Cop that early bink, and also Jamyang falling on short. So B bomb site is taken, and TYLOO struggling to find their consistency tonight, it would seem.
Ansel just continuing to deal damage, cutting the rotations, trying to stop these players from saving. Always have that Palace lurk come into fruition and find some impact in the mid to late round. Almost nice movement from Uncrowned there. And TYLOO, once again, just going to hold on to these rifles and a little bit of util. Got a couple 5.7s in the back pocket that can drop over to the other boys as well if they do opt to just go for kind of a half-buy approach around the rifles. And I think that despite the fact that the loss bonus hasn't built up too much, could be sensible. Given that QUBE has survived with 4 here, their money's going to be a little harder to break in the next round.
It's still a very precarious round upcoming for the QUBE. 2 AKs taken through. Once again, we're going to go back to the scout for G, and you'd presume probably just rounding things out with MP9s here for Jamyang and Mosea. It's a FAMAS instead for Jamyang. So lacking util. Not a huge concern. Everyone else is fairly healthy util-wise. Interesting that AK gets held on for Attacker. Let's see where he ends up playing. He is by Connector, so I guess that makes a bit of sense. You know, you're in a pretty pivotal position on that map. You've got the AKs dedicated towards mid right now with Mercury and Attacker sort of probing around there together. Put your strongest weapons in the most important part of the map.
It's a slower default from QUBE. Minute 20 on the clock, going to start working their way towards underpass. Still not really much mid control, and you can see that TYLOO's pretty centralized around middle. As soon as the T's start to make some moves over there, you can almost guarantee that you're going to get some fights from these rifles. Seems like QUBE wants to turn this into an A split if possible. Get a window boost going perhaps, but that would almost certainly get punished by Jamyang here.
Not quite. He's done a bit of damage. Just escape back into the safety of ladder room, and Mercury doubling down with the AK. That's what you need for TYLOO. That saved AK, paying dividends at this point. Attacker unable to do much with his, but even still, space provided, and Jamyang swings. Double kill for him. 3 for Mercury in the round, and again, an easy kind of cleanup for TYLOO as they will just hold on to this lead.
Thought that this would be the point where TYLOO would start to break away and actually force an eco, but QUBE are not letting this one go. And somehow they've still put 4 rifles together and a tech once again. So we'll see who ends up getting hard reset first. TYLOO's starting to at least build up some cash. To get a little bit of mid-contest from both teams. Just a dry peek out middle. In fact, a triple peek, and that's very sharp from Jamyoung. Straight off of Cat. No real recourse for QUBE at all. Gonna have to just see if they can find opportunities elsewhere, really.
Anselmo trying his best. That flash is definitely going to cause issues. And he's burning through his ammo in this Galil. 7 bullets left. Surprised that attack doesn't swing there. And in fact, he dies as well. So that's a little bit of a mishap for TYLOO. Bit of a miscomm maybe between G and Attacker, or confusion, I'm not sure. But Anselmo somehow, he's gotten away with 2 there. It's a bit of a miracle worker, it would seem. He has drawn the rotation of these other couple of CT players. They are spotting out Anselmo, but this guy apparently is Neo in the Matrix. Oh, but he's not Jamyoung. And that's what matters in the end. Sometimes you just get Jamyoung. And look, it was a good effort from Anselmo. I think a lot of errors from TYLOO for it to get that close, but Jamyoung saves the day.
Finally, you're going to see a reset on that T economy as well. No money to buy very much of anything here, so just want to try to look for a bomb plant. Don't even really have cash to upgrade their pistols too much. It's the Deagle and a P250, so any kills that you can get is just a bit of a bonus on top. And a bomb plant will definitely help you get some more util into the next round. Deagle does not strike true. Punished by G.
Good
and
shot.
It's just pretty easy pickings for him.
Indeed. Well, that's finally a bit more of a straightforward round, you know, something a little bit more in the semblance of normalcy, because we've had Forced by Madness back and forth. Uncrowned will give us one nice headshot from Deagle, but no more than that. And 5-2 as we start to, I think, really start to sink our teeth into this game. TYLOO looking to be the better side at the moment.
Yeah, they're starting to break away a little bit, starting to build up a little bit of cash on that CT economy. No bomb plant for QUBE, so a couple of these players have to skip some key grenades to maybe make their lives a little bit more difficult if they want to run a bit more of a drawn-out default. Pretty standard window, top mid smokes from them. Jamyoung jumps his way over to short very quickly and almost has an opportunity to try to go for a pick. It's a 1-3-1 for TYLOO, and it's just Jamyoung dominating mid again.
Yeah, not much you can do against that. Jamyoung's having a night. Mercury also having a bit of a night. 11-3. And I guess that's just bad news for the QUBE, really. Because I'm not sure that you can really say that there's going to be anybody on that lineup that's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with an informed Jamyoung and an informed Mercury. Mosaic may be a different story, but G will be there for the trade anyway, so no harm, no foul. And Anselmo, once again, will be tasked with a pretty unwinnable clutch, a 1v3 here, though he does at least have some time.
Yeah, it's doable. I like the approach going towards the middle of the map as well. It's probably where you expect the most gaps. CT sticking to the sides. A little bit of a shoulder for G. He does re-peek and is punished for it. A lot of damage into Anselmo's toes here though. And actually jumping into window is probably the only way to make this winnable, because if he runs onto that short line taken by Mercury, he's probably going to get cooked. Back onto the Tech 9 force-wise. A little bit of a half-by to get some damage done.
I just felt like there was a bit of an opportunity for the QUBE to kind of like do something in this series off the back of that start. A bit of back and forth, but it seems like they've kind of just fallen flat.
Yeah, I mean, they just didn't win the reset round at the end of the day. Whoever wins 2 in a row is going to stabilize a little faster. And in that case, it was TYLOO.
Well, in onto the site, Uncrown and Solos will not be partaking much in this round, unfortunately, for the Cube, nor will apparently anybody. Anselmo is going to drop as well. So 5 guns remaining for TYLOO at the end of that round, and yeah, we've got to the point of the the regularly scheduled programming. It's pretty straightforward stuff. It's pretty standard stuff. You turn on the TV, 7 o'clock in the afternoon, evening. TYLOO, they're winning against the Cube. Yep, that's exactly what I was expecting. Happens every day.
Yeah.
I'll be back again to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's the expected result. But, I mean, like we said, ECL, TYLOO probably has to lock in a little harder to win games like this. But also QUBE, I mean, it's just a good opportunity for them to play a team of this level. Solo's got a nice entry there on, I think, a jump spotting Mosey. So that must have been a nice shot to start things off. And these are the rounds 5v4 where QUBE need to make sure they convert because they've got to win a couple in a row to break this CT money.
Oh, G, not letting anyone into middle. If it ain't Jamyoung, it's going to be G. And if it ain't one of those two, probably Mercury will be hanging around in mid. So it's kind of goes from bad to worse, really, for the Cube. They're going to walk their way towards that B bomb site. Jamyoung will be hearing some of those noises being made. Solos with a little jump there. Jamyoung very well prepared on a cheeky little line. Nice clean double in the end. And TYLOO will win another. Up to 8 now.
Yeah, really starting to break away with the game. I think QUBE time and time again are kind of having a tough time with this mid fight. Feels like TYLOO is winning multiple duels in middle and kind of abusing QUBE whenever they want to try to take space over there. So I would say like an ult posted up on the smoke break in window or on the con peak, something like that, while your rifle has worked would be a great way to go, but QUBE just don't even have money for that.
Once again, going to try and recontest middle. Jamyoung very, very quickly into the ladder room. They did not expect that at all. Oh my word. Well, yeah, sometimes it's just what happens when you're up against one of these better teams. That was nice from TYLOO though. Very, very nice middle crunch and perfect time to call it as well. So it's all coming together this evening for the Chinese squad.
They've just been doing this the whole game, really. Mercury's been the con player, I think. Jamyoung's kind of been the short player. And you're just getting multi-frags from the riflers. Elsemo's going to punish G, but that's about all he gets away with. And it's pretty much just Mercury and Jamyoung just handshaking their way through this game right now. Not really anyone else needs to do much of anything.
Yeah, again, it's important for TYLOO to be winning matches like this one just so they're not dropping those VRS points. They had a bit of a up and down night last night. 13-5 win over Rare Atom, but then also did drop one of those maps in fairly close fashion. So a 1-1 yesterday evening between TYLOO and Rare Atom.
Yeah.
Probably not what TYLOO's looking for. No, it's not. But I think, if you're TYLOO here, especially off the back of that EPL run, you would have hoped for a 2-0. Mercury under a little bit of pressure in middle right here. We'll duck back in behind that smoke into the loving embrace of Daddy Jamyoung. We'll keep him safe.
I mean, they just cannot break this mid hold every single time. Just running into multiple riflers, taking full advantage of them. And thank God that CT half is over for the QUBE. Let's see if they can recover it on their own.
Welcome back on in the second half. Just about to be underway, and the way things are looking, it probably won't be a very long second half. That may change if the QUBE are able to pick up this CT pistol, but TYLOO over on that T side now have looked pretty dominant. 16 and 5 for Jamyoung, who's now 16 and 6 as he's the first player to drop in this pistol round. So we'll go back over to the rest of the lads to see if they can manage to rustle anything up, and that seems to not be the case. Apparently, the USPs of the QUBE are pretty good. BKZ and Uncrowned hitting just about everything.
Yeah, that was BKZ's first 2 kills of the series. I think he took the time in the halftime break to go take a really good hard look at himself.
Yeah,
and
look
now
in the
he's
mirror.
ready to frag.
Well, it is a bit of an interesting one. I'm sure Attacker would love to get the bomb plant down, but that's not even really an option with the bomb dropped in middle and the QUBE kind of swarming all over that part of the map. He does have a bit of time here to see if he can cause some kind of damage, and if he gets these 2 kills, maybe there was something on offer, but just the one in the end. And it will be the QUBE to pick up the pistol. I don't know that this is going to be enough for TYLOO to force in, so we'll just get the save through here, I'd assume.
Yeah, I think a force here would be a bit of basically overconfidence, I would say, from TYLOO. Although there's definitely something to that, right? Where the forces are so uncommon that you can get away with them sometimes. Attacker gonna drop a flash over to G. So does look like TYLOO is gonna try to go for some kind of B play, get a kill or 2, pull the rotation away from A, and then try to ninja a plant on A. Seems like the general approach right now.
Okay, decent start. Don't know that it necessarily is going to work out for TYLOO, and it certainly will not in the end, as Anselmo will finish off the bomb carrier attacker. So G might as well just W key it out of apps here, but he's going to try and play with solos and see if he can get a headshot through there. In fact, he actually gets double body, and that'll be enough in the end. Maybe a little bit overzealous, really, from solos, you could say, but it is handled nicely to finish things off by Uncrown, and so that is up to 4 now for the QUBE. But first gun round about to pop out here for TYLOO, and this will be where the job gets a little more difficult for the QUBE.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, another reason why we like to watch these games is just to see, if there's any cracked Mongolian players on the come up. We've watched many of these Mongolian teams in ECL take on some of the top teams in ECL, and there always just seems to be 1 or 2 guys that perform pretty decently at this level. And then you kind of keep your eyes on them going forward, and we've seen players like Vessel and some of the other lads take the step up into some of the better teams in Mongolia and do quite well for themselves. So it's good scouting. It's an interesting approach from QUBE, throwing the back of app smoke. Unfortunately, they don't have any kitchen control, but Mosey's actually going to respect it. Happy to just scurry away, doesn't feel the need to hold on to that control. And in direct contrast to what TYLOO was doing on their CT side, QUBE is kind of giving up middle right now. A little bit more of a hands-off approach from them. They're expecting an A play, and they'll be correct about that. TYLOO are going to go for an A split here.
Slow and steady wins the race as far as TYLOO's concerned, but that's going to have to change up in a second. 5 of them left in the round. BKZ just get the opener onto Mercury, but we've still got some probing pressure coming through here from TYLOO. Mosea needs to find that trade. We've got a bit of a helping hand there from Jamyoung, and they are aware there's another player by ticket somewhere. G with a very open plan, honestly. Kind of ballsy, but does get away with it and perfectly times it as well to just sneak out as that smoke fades. He was spotted on the way through by BKZ. Tetris will not be cleared. Mosea getting the job done, just pumping those numbers up a little bit. Jamyoung unable to win his duel. Solos, see what he can do here. Knows where, roughly, at least these last couple of players are, but not up to the challenge this time around.
That puts QUBE in a very precarious position now. 1,700 on Uncrowned, 2.9 for Solos. The rest of the boys have enough money to buy, but it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag. MP9 and a pistol with 3 rifles. Very limited util. This is TYLOO's chance to reset and close the game. Quick mid smokes. Underpass aggression from QUBE here. See if it catches Mercury off. Oh, that's just such a clean double peek with the underarm flash. Oh, this Unground guy is cracked.
He's having a game, that's for sure. Not enough of a game, really, to pose a huge threat to TYLOO, but he is definitely causing a bit of a ruckus here and there. Ansel Mo will go down in the meanwhile. Uncrown, looking for one more. Got a tag on a Mercury. It wasn't the finishing blow that he would have liked, however. Mercury, not afraid. Just going to keep on charging his way forward, and Uncrown will be brought down. On plan here for TYLOO. He will be going to 12 shortly.
Money's broken for QUBE. Really running out of options at this point. 1,900 is not how much cash you want to have to fight for this game with. Especially against a top team in Asia. It's going to have to be Deagles and armor. Cross your fingers and your toes that you're hitting some bloody good shots this round. Get some palace aggression. I like that from QUBE. Got a double palace push. The longer the TYLOO takes to work their way through this round, the more problems that could arise. Attacker could get it caught off and lose his gun here, but he's in a pretty safe position against the palace push right now.
Yeah, you don't typically see that palace push wrap all the way back around to A main. Mercury getting that kill onto Uncrown as well is going to indicate there's players in middle that the QUBE might be thinking about, so they're a bit more interested in making the long wrap to the top of mid. They may be a little bit too little too late in the end. They do decide to split. Anselmo working his way forward now with that Deagle attacker. Will be caught unawares here. There's going to be a nice couple of taps in the end. Solos as well onto Jamyoung, and G actually got a double. Luckily, Mercury and Mosaic have been able to salvage somewhat, but bomb needs to be retrieved, and they don't necessarily seem to be aware that BKZ is on this B bomb site. So if Mosaic makes the mistake of not clearing or even planting here, that swing is going to come through. BKZ wasn't spotted. Bit of an awkward movement from Mosaic. Plant now going down and denied, but Mercury turns on a dime and finishes both off anyway. 13-4. We needn't have been worried, as TYLOO will secure map 1 very comfortably.
Yeah. I mean, it was back and forth at the start. You had the force by Fiesta. I think QUBE, like I said, definitely needed to win those critical